It's good to see everyone today. And today we're going to be focusing on, we'll be using our eyes and our ears today. So if you're inside, looks like most of you, no, some of you are inside. If you're inside, that's just fine. You can just set yourself up near a window and let Joy in. You can set yourself up near a window and then you can crack the window, that's great. But it's okay because what we're going to be doing today, you don't have to necessarily hear the sounds of outside, but it would be lovely if you can. So if you can do that, that's great. Hi, Joy, good to see you. And Jackie, I forgot to say hi to you. Hi, Jackie. Hello, hello. All right, so let's just get grounded. So go ahead and find a nice comfortable seat. And Joy, I always love that you're always bundled up. You're outside no matter what. It's awesome. Still trying to figure it out. So yeah, everyone go ahead and find a good comfy seat. I'm just going to put you on mute there, Joy. And if you can have something lovely to look at, then that's great. And just take stock of yourself right now. Just do like a brief body scan and just notice your posture. Again, don't change it right away. I just want you to notice it. Just notice how you're naturally sitting in this moment. Notice your breath. Notice how far or how not so far it might travel through your body. And if you can even tap into your heart rate, your heartbeat right now, and just notice the rhythm of your own heartbeat. And now if you want to shift anything, if you want to adjust your posture, or maybe take a deeper breath in and a deeper exhale out, then you can do that. And as you're taking some nice deep breaths, just go ahead and feel the connection with your feet on the earth in this moment. I find that often, at least around here, usually the day of and day after a holiday can be a little bit quieter in the neighborhoods, and which is lovely. Either that or people are out there doing yard work, and so it can be louder sometimes too. But right now it's a bit more gentle than it usually is on a Monday morning here. So just feeling that connection with your feet on the earth. Noticing if there's any sensations that occur to you. And as you're tapping into that, just imagine that your feet have roots. Imagine the big roots that go down from each of the trunks of your trees, your legs. And then imagine all the smaller little tendrils that extend out. And they often say that the root system of a tree is as wide as its branches, just imagining that your root system goes out as far as your branches would reach, your arms. And what would that be like to be tapped into the earth in that way right now? Having a real deep connection with this one place, just this one place right now, this morning. Imagining that you don't have to go anywhere or do anything for this next little bit of time that we're here together. And just allow that connection to travel up through the rest of your body as if you were that tree, rooted and grounded in your place, at home in your place. So now you can send your gaze off in the distance, finding one point to focus on. Just really get a nice look at whatever it is that you're focused on in this moment. And then slowly, as if it starts with little tiny ripples and they extend out to bigger and bigger and bigger diameter, just allow your vision to expand and soften. And then notice if there's places in your vision that maybe you're resist in some way, or it's not as easy to expand into. Sometimes looking up, like expanding up and down, can be a bit harder for some people. So just see if you can stretch into those places and noticing how far in each direction on the right and left of you you can expand your vision while you're still looking forward at that point. I know for me right now, I'm looking sort of at the sun, so that can be hard. You can turn your gaze if you want to. So if you're like me and looking at the sun right now. And just notice what happens in your body as you start to soften your gaze. Is there anything in your physical experience that starts to shift or change, or even in your mental experience? Good work. And now, as we did with our eyes, do the same with your ears and just allow your sense of hearing to just get nice and soft, and just as if it had octopus little tentacles and it was just stretching out across the landscape, feeling everything with the sensitivity of those tentacles. Let your ears just explore the landscape around you in a real gentle way. Don't stop for too long on any one sound. Just let yourself start to explore the landscape around you. And then notice those places where you naturally stop. Maybe your listening doesn't go any further. And see if you can stretch a little bit beyond those places. Like for me, there's a group of trees behind me, and sometimes my listening stops with them because there's a lot of activity that happens in these trees. So I'm going to push myself, I'm going to nudge myself to just stretch my hearing beyond the trees. Good work, everybody. All right, so now we're going to start with our eyes closed. If you feel like you're in a comfortable and safe place, go ahead and close your eyes and just let yourself receive whatever is there in this moment for a few moments. And now, still with your eyes closed, what I want you to do is figure out, some of you may know already, others might take a moment to sort of figure this out, is see if you can find or know where east is. So I want you to think about where east is relative to where you're sitting right now. I'll give you a moment to do that. And so each of us in our homes or the places where we're staying, we often have, I guess what I like to think of as pillars. So there's pillars in our landscape that sort of take up this energetic space. Maybe it's a big tree in your yard, maybe it's a rock, maybe it's your mailbox. It's just these pillars that we identify with, and it's easy to remember where they are on the landscape. So I want you to think about the easterly direction right now relative to you, and just imagine, still with your eyes closed, what are the pillars on the landscape that are in the eastern portion of your yard relative to where you're sitting right now. So just think about it might be your house, it might be a water feature, whatever it is, just kind of paint those, put those on the landscape where you might imagine they would be. Okay, good work. And now, still with your eyes closed, allow yourself to fill in the spaces in between the pillars. So, those are the parts of our landscape that we often overlook. It might be a little bit harder to recall, but see how you can do with that. Okay, nice work. And so, also, we're still focused on the easterly direction with our eyes closed. I want you to go ahead and listen in that direction. And oftentimes there are sounds that we expect, just like we expect those pillars to be there. We expect certain sounds to come from that area. You know, if you do have a water feature, maybe it's the babbling of that water feature, or if it's traffic coming from that particular side of your yard, or whatever it may be. Just listen for those audible pillars on your landscape and see if they're there right now. And now, thinking a bit more about the birds, is there a particular bird that you often expect to hear or see in that part of your yard? And see if you can listen for that one right now. So today's practice is in honor of the new day and the new year. So in just a moment, I'll have you gently open your eyes and look in the direction of the east and just see if you can see anything new or find anything new, even in the pillars, those ones that you know are there. They're really prominent features in your landscape. And go ahead and open your eyes now, and also with your ears, see if there's any new sounds that you might hear in that direction of your landscape right now. You can even put that intention or ask that question of, what do you have to reveal to me right now? What is new over there in that direction? Okay, good work. So we're going to do this a couple more times with the other directions in our landscape. So if you're looking at something or listening to something that's really captivating your attention, you can continue to do so. Otherwise, go ahead and close your eyes. And this time, I want you to find the south, the southern portion of your yard. And I want you just to find or imagine the pillars that are in the southern portion of your yard, both the audible pillars, the ones that you often expect to hear, and the visual pillars. Just paint those with your eyes closed in your mind. Okay, and then go ahead and fill in the spaces. Fill in the spaces in between the pillars. And just pull on your memory of your landscape. See what you can remember. In that direction, you might also imagine if there happen to be any animal trails. Thinking of the ones that come and visit your yard. Maybe it's a skunk or a raccoon, maybe it's a fox, coyote, or a deer. Would they happen to be walking in that direction? And if so, what trail would they most often use? And you can do the same with the sounds. So, whatever sounds you might expect to come in the sense of birds, if there's a particular bird that often hangs out in the southern portion of your yard, can you hear that or listen for that right now? Is it in the spot it's always in? And now, this time when you open your eyes, I want you to look for. I know for me, what just occurred was that there's often a flicker that comes from that direction, but I don't know where it starts. And so now I'm really curious about what tree that flicker might come from. And so if there's anything that struck your curiosity of like, I wonder where, then you can go ahead and look for that now and also see how you did with the pillars in your landscape and the spaces in between. And then remembering to ask if there's anything new that this direction has to offer to you this morning on this first day of the year. Okay, nice work. So when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. And this time we'll be sending our attention and looking for the pillars in the western portion of our yards. Remembering to include both the audible pillars, those voices you expect to hear over there, as well as the visual pillars. And now let yourself fill in the spaces in between all of the pillars, both the spaces visually, but also those ones where maybe you can start to listen for certain sounds that you might not have expected to come from that direction. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes and take a look over in that direction. And just asking for what is new over there that that direction can reveal or teach you or share with you this morning. Also asking what's unique about that direction. It's the westerly portion of your yard. What is different about and unique about that portion compared to the other areas of your yard? Okay, nice work. And for our final direction, we'll close our eyes and I want you to imagine and find the northerly portion of your yard and listen for and imagine the pillars that are in the northern portion of your yard right now. Okay, nice. Now go ahead and fill in the spaces in between the pillars. Okay, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and look in the direction of the north and just see who's there. See what that direction has to reveal for you. allowing yourself to listen for the voices that are new and on your landscape this morning and those that you expect to come from that direction. In just a moment, we'll have two more bonuses for you. So when you're ready, go ahead and settle yourself in again and close your eyes. And now I want you to imagine and just see if you can feel it in your body. Where is the moon right now? See if you can feel into that. Where is the moon right now? And then the real super bonus question is, what constellation is overhead right now in this moment? So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Some of you may be able to see the moon still, others maybe not so much. And just see if you can find her. And then after you're done looking, just let yourself settle in and just take in the whole of your landscape for a few moments. You don't have to do anything, no thoughts in particular. Just let yourself be there and see who else is there. All right, so take the next moment to offer your own gratitude or blessing to those ones that you interacted with this morning. All right, everybody. So for those who need to head out, thank you so much for coming. Happy New Year to you. And those who want to stay in chat, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you might have heard or seen, or just what came to you during this practice this morning. So if you want to share, just go ahead and raise your hand. You can do a virtual hand too if you want to. Yeah, Linda, please.
Um, just enjoying the quiet. Yesterday, there were flocks and flocks of both starlings and grackles, and it was very noisy. And today, they seem to be gone, and it's just lots of little birds and cardinals and jays who are very quiet. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree. Where are you calling? Were you zooming in from this morning, Linda?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. That's interesting because I've been noticing the grackles moving in the last couple of days as well, like really grouping up. And I had a whole huge flock of them fly over me this morning. It was really quiet on the road, and it just sounded like someone was like shaking out a bag of leaves. It was just their wings, just like whoosh, as they flew over my head. And it's like, oh, I wonder if other people are seeing grackles moving right now. So that's exciting. That's really cool. And it's neat to notice the difference. I mean, if you have them actually in your trees, it can just be consuming, where that's all you hear really. So
Right. I was thinking, where's Alfred Hitchcock when you need him?
that's awesome. Aw. Well, thanks for sharing, Linda. Anyone else want to share? All right. Oops. Sorry about that. I saw Claudia and then Jackie.
Yeah, I really appreciated the opportunity to get oriented because I know the directions and I know where my house is situated, but sometimes in my mind I confuse it. And so it was fun to get oriented. It was fun to visualize my surroundings, to go out further and figure out, one of the reasons it's easier for me to know the directions than it may be for some people is because we've got mountains on the east and on the west. And so it was fun to visualize those. And actually, it made me a little ashamed. I think I know where the moon would be at this point, but constellations right now, I'm going, I have no idea. And that would be so interesting to, again, situate myself within the cosmos. So it's a great, great exercise for the beginning of the year. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That is, I hadn't thought about that perspective, but you're right. Like, really nice to orient ourselves on the first day. So, yeah, thanks. That's great, Claudia. What a good perspective. Jackie, you're up.
So it's been a busy time in my yard, so I've been very distracted. Sorry, I'm gonna practice more orienting myself because it is a good exercise. I would like to share my private fireworks in my backyard. I have a huge aloe plant and it's blooming. So I'm going to turn around because it's like my best hummingbird attractant.
Whoa.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing, Jackie. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen an aloe in flower before. I had no
It's
idea.
huge. Very happy here.
Wow. And Jackie, where are you?
Sacramento,
Okay. It's a great
right by
perspective.
the river. So thanks for
Awesome.
joining me.
Yeah. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's awesome. Sweet. All right. Julia, Joy, and Kathy, any of you want to share anything? Yeah, Julia, go for it.
It's been really quiet here, cold, just 33 degrees and really overcast, and everybody's just hunkered down. And just in the last few minutes, the house sparrows have come out and enveloped the feeders. And I'm not a particular fan of them, but a friend called them the keystone cops of the bird feeders. So I have to I try to amuse myself with that analogy there. But just after they came, the sun, a little bit of sun started to peek through and it's lightening up a little bit. So I don't know whether they were bringers of the sun or not. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
I
I'm
like
trying to think more kindly of house sparrows because I have so many of them.
Yeah, and that's a really, I mean, thinking of the theme, which was looking for the new, that's a new way to consider them is the bringers of the sun. How
Oh,
lovely. Aw. Well, thanks for sharing, Julia. All right, Joy, Kathy, you all feeling content, or would you like to share anything before we go? Yeah, Joy, go for it.
Very quiet on the bird front here today. For some reason, there's nothing around at all. But it's such a beautiful day. It's the first time we've seen the sun in what seems like weeks, and it's cold. It's about -10 Celsius, but it's so nice to be out here. And thank you very much, Kristi, for that. It was, and yeah, I'm always amazed at how much I miss when I'm doing that exercise of looking around my yard with my eyes closed.
and opening them again. And there's just so much there that I've forgotten about. So it's always a good exercise to do that. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kristi.
Oh, you're welcome. I agree. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, there's this giant, beautiful tree that when I was thinking of the north, I completely forgot. And I was like, how could I? It's like such a prominent. It's actually from my window. I can see that tree as well, and so I feel like it's a really big, presence in my life. And I completely forgot it when I was imagining. It's like it is the pillar of the backyard, and I completely forgot it. So, yeah, it's really good to just remember those, all the ones that live around us, and just even to take a moment to remember them and acknowledge them. And yeah, thanks for that, Joy. Appreciate it. Right, yeah. Oh, Kathy, did you want to share something?
Oh, I just wanted to thank everyone for sharing their thoughts. And I really appreciate how you bring us back to the real, with the New Year's and the activity around the holidays. It's it's a lot. And I was looking really forward to being out in the peacefulness today and getting reoriented with the real that's out there in the world. So thank you so much. Really appreciate the time.
Oh, that's a really nice perspective, Kathy. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. It's really nice to be here with you all in the real, in the world, and just take a moment for us all to be together in it, and remembering these ones who support us and, are part of our lives. So happy New Year, and thank you all for being here. It's so good to see you, and yeah, I hope you have a beautiful first day, and we'll see you next week. All right, everybody, take good care.